Somebody might say, "Are you kidding me? Christian witches?" Well, yes. I felt led to start sharing some stories about my experience in ministry through these years. And so I've got one here for you that you need to listen to, because the God solution in so many times, in so many cases, is deliverance. It's dealing with demons in people and Christians. And these demons working in Christians have divided churches, destroyed ministries, destroyed marriages, and all kinds of things. And for some reason, folks, even ministers, refuse to look at this. I've had the Lord send ministers to me that He wanted me to help with some of the problems in their ministry, and they refused to admit that it was demonic. And so after that, it was all over. So I'm going to change the names here for confidential purposes. But anyway, her name, I'll call her Karen, came to a Friday night meeting years ago out in Richardson, which is just north of Dallas, and we had Friday night meetings for a few years, and people would come from all over. I had a radio program then back here in the area, and a Christian radio station, and we had tremendous responses. Folks looking for deliverance. Some drove 100 miles one way on Friday nights just to come and receive. And so this lady we call Karen showed up, and she was a very attractive young lady, I would say in her early to mid-20s, and she'd been singing in a church, actually an Episcopal church, and had a beautiful voice and had even a Christian countenance. But when she came for ministry that night and she began to confess to me, she said, "I've got some real problems." And she was, I don't remember the details, but problems with oppression, problems with her thinking and so forth. And so I began to realize that she needed some ministry. And she said, "I come because she realized that this is demonic." And certainly it was. So I said, okay. And I called on my wife and I think another lady and said, come and pray for this lady, and then I'll come when I get through with the others that are in line here. And so in a little bit, as I was praying with others, I heard a scream, and I looked up and I looked back, and my wife was telling me, come back here. And Karen was on the floor, and she was jerking and shivering and all kinds of things. And so I looked down, and lo and behold, her whole countenance had changed. I looked at her, and this beautiful gal, and she was a beautiful, real attractive gal, had turned into a crinkly faced, slitted eye witch. I mean, that's all I could say. I'm looking at a person that looks like a witch. Even her nose had changed. And I was stunned. I'd never seen anything quite like this. So I got down on my knees by her, and I began to say, okay, I know what you are. You're a spirit of witchcraft. Now you got to come out of this woman. You got to leave. And I began to come against the spirits of witches and witchcraft in this woman, and also the other things, fear and all the things, a package. Witchcraft is a package. And so all at once, as I came against this spirit, she let out a scream that would rattle the ceiling, and it was almost too loud for my ears. And this thing came out, the whole package of it, with this scream. And I found out since then, this was years ago, that this is the way the spirit usually leaves, with a scream. And so many people, so many sisters have these spirits. And I can't tell you the encounters I've had with this through these years. And when this happened, all at once, Karen just relaxed on the floor, and her countenance came back, and she was even more beautiful than before she manifested. It was incredible. It was incredible to see this. I've seen similar things so long, but this was my first incredible encounter with the Spirit. And here was this beautiful Christian woman, loved the Lord, was singing and praising the Lord and so forth, but had the spirit of witchcraft, or the spirits, I should say. And I saw the transformation. And I wish back then we didn't have video. I wish I'd have had a video of this, so people could see what really happened with this beautiful Christian gal. And she was so changed and so moved that a few months later she contacted me. She said, "I'm going to get married now, and would you do the wedding?" And I said, "Sure, sis. Yeah, sure. Love to." And so I did the wedding when she married. And although she never joined the church, didn't expect her to, but she was so thankful, and we kept in contact for a long time. And this has been a very similar story for this ministry for all these 40 some odd years. It's real. It's real. Christians have demons. And that's the answer. That's why Jesus came. He made it obvious. Read Mark 1 and see what happened there. And read the whole chapter and see what he did that night with his people. In fact, he said, "Don't go to the Gentiles. This is for the lost sheep of the house of Israel." And that's what he came doing. It was a major part of his ministry. It's still needed today. It's still neglected and ignored today. It's made fun of. It's been abused. Some people do crazy things with it. Some try to make money with it, and so forth. Don't pay anybody for deliverance, please. We've never charged, never, ever, ever charged anybody for this. Because when Jesus sent his disciples out in Matthew 10, he said, "Freely you received, freely give." And so God gave us this place here, put it in my hands, where we could invite people from all over the world to come and stay a weekend, stay a week, and receive deliverance. And if you need us, you see my email, or is it down here somewhere, and you see our phone number. And that's what we're all about. And that's probably something you need, whether you know it or not, and whether somebody has denied it or not. I've never found any believer that didn't need some deliverance, and that's the truth. So I want you to know I love you, and that's why I'm sharing this. And I've got much more to tell you about this, okay? For now, peace.